Hey Scorpio, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is King of Pentacles. And King of Swords. And High Priestess. And Ten of Swords. Okay. This can be about stuff that's coming to light. But having the High Priestess there, I almost feel like there's a knowing about this. And this can also mean too that some difficult stuff is going on emotionally. So King of Pentacles and King of Swords, this can be like two people that are having an interaction with one another. When we have High Priestess there, this can be something that's more on the DL, like something that's not really like expressed and everybody knows about it. It can be something that's more quiet. And then having Ten of Swords there can be like privately dealing with what's going down, and it can be something that feels challenging. This can be a difficult discussion to be having. This can be a difficult conversation to have. It can be about a difficult topic. It can be something where there's something going on emotionally. Also too, what this can be, so like another layer of this, rather than seeing this as being two people or like on one sort of layer, you can see this as being an interaction between two people. On another layer, you can see this as being an interaction with you and yourself. So having King of Pentacles, this is the part of you where you're like, I have a job, I have a mission, I have stuff to do, I need to be thinking about these things that are important to me, I have investments within my life. And then having King of Swords, this is the part of you that you put a lot of thought into things. This is the part of you that does problem solving, that does figuring out, that does communication. And so having these two energies here together, along with the High Priestess, can be sort of knowledge and information being passed between these two parts of yourself. So the part of you that's noticing things and thinking about things and trying to figure stuff out and wants to express and wants to communicate, the part of you that listens and tunes in and then also responds to that part of you is having a conversation. So this is like the mental part of you, is having conversation with the earth part of you, that there's stuff in the world that you're moving around within, and having the moon be there. This can be a very subtle conversation that's happening between these two parts of yourself. And then having that Ten of Swords there can be something that's difficult. There can be something challenging that's coming up here. King of Pentacles is the part of you that you see as being responsible. Like, I have a reputation to maintain and uphold, or like I play these roles and these things are important to me, or having to do with your independence and whatnot. And then King of Swords is that part of you that strives for things to make sense, that wants to put the pieces together, that wants to communicate, that knows what's going on sort of on a psychological level, what's happening. And so there can be something difficult that's being sort of spoken about with these parts of yourself. And also too can be something that's going on with you and another person. But I see this as being something that's much more low-key. Three of Cups is coming out reversed. So this can actually mean... Okay, so when Three of Cups is upright, this can be things are reconciled or things are good or we're getting along with one another. When Three of Cups is reversed, this can be more like irreconcilable differences that you have with another person, or you can feel like you're not seeing eye to eye with them, or like you have some type of beef with them. It's going to be something like this. Yeah, so for those of you that this is another person that you're dealing with, this feels very much like maybe a work situation that you're having trouble within. But there can also be a battle between your responsibilities and also like what you're thinking and how you really feel about stuff. Meaning maybe there's a part of you that's like, we got to show up and we got to get this done. And then there's a part of you that's like, I don't think that this is right, or like this is going on. And I feel like because that you see King of Swords as being connected with the air energy. And so like, let's think about it. Gemini is the part that wants to communicate, to pass on information, and to be just saying things that are like, this is how I feel and this is what's going on. Then we move over to the energy of Libra, which is about wanting harmony. This is about like social graces, and also about relationships and wanting things to be genuinely harmonious, copacetic. And then we have the energy of Aquarius, which is like room for improvement. Like I have a vision for things. Like really, there is a beautiful way that stuff can come together. And because Aquarius is that humanitarian energy, there's also going to be this, like, I don't want there to be some sort of injustice. And so I wonder if it has something to do with that, where you can be like, I'm expected to be doing this and doing that, but then like in my head, I'm thinking another thing about this, or I have a different opinion, and you can feel like these parts of yourself are really not seeing eye to eye. Like this can be a part of yourself that's the King of Pentacles is like, we have a job to do and I need to make money, or like I got to do this or I got to do this, or like I already made a commitment and I said that I would be there and be doing that thing. And then the part of you that's the King of Swords can be thinking like, I don't know if this is the right thing for us to be doing, and I feel like you're not working with me and we're not really problem solving. And also, so that can be you with you, like the banter between you and yourself. And also there can be something that's going on with you and another person. So you can feel like one person is leaning into the energy of like, this is the way that things are and the way that things have always been, and this is how like this show is run. And then the energy that is the King of Swords is like, well, I don't agree with that, or I don't see things like that, and I think that things could be better, and I overall don't think that this is working in a way that I think that there's maybe room for improvement here. So it can be that type of thing that's happening. And having the High Priestess, this can be like a private discussion that's being had here. For some reason, I get with the King of Swords like a moral energy of what's right and what's wrong. Like I really am tuning into the part of the King of Swords that leans into like justice and unjust, and what's right and what's not right, and like what's best for everybody and what's not. And then the part that's the King of Pentacles, this can be a like more conservative, these are the traditions and this is how things have been and this is how we get things done around here. It can be like that type of thing. So you have like these two characters that are interacting with one another. And yeah, having High Priestess there, this can be something that's very like under the table happening. But it's something that's challenging because we have 10 of Swords here. This means something difficult is going on. But there may not be able to be like a big, like it being put out there for everybody to see and everybody to know. This feels like a private affair to me. Not on the same page. Wanting two different things even feels like. This even feels too like this isn't what I wanted. I also wonder too, like for those of you that you're identified with the energy of the King of Swords, you may have said something like hoping for a certain outcome, or for things to, I don't know, like you could have done something and felt like you wanted something like good to come of it, and maybe something else ended up happening. Like maybe something that you didn't expect. And also too, because this is a somewhat private affair, this can be something that in a way kind of has to be kept under wraps. So 3 of Cups is like, I'm not feeling what you're saying, like we're not seeing eye to eye. 9 of Cups can then be that this isn't what I wanted. 5 of Wands is going to be trying to work that out and trying to figure that out, because this can feel like 2 very different agendas here. It feels too like the King of Pentacles and King of Swords, they were like friends with one another, or they were getting along with one another, or they were understanding one another, or it felt like we saw each other and we could see from each other's eyes and things made sense and we were sort of standing on the same like framework. And now it feels like that's sort of coming apart. So it can feel like there is like the relationship sort of unraveling, because this feels like I don't feel seen. I'm not feeling seen. And I'm feeling like we're, just not on the same page. I'm not feeling seen. I'm not feeling heard. I'm not feeling understood. And so like both of these sides feeling like that. King of Pentacles feels like that. King of Swords feels like that. Then having that Nine of Cups reversed is feeling like this isn't what I want. Because we see Nine of Cups as being a card that is connected with a wish fulfillment and like what we want and our ideals. When Nine of Cups is reversed, this can feel like what you want and what your ideals are, they're very different than this other person. And saying again, like, we're not seeing eye to eye because this isn't what I want. And then there being something like this, like, what do we do then? Trying to work something out here with that Five of Wands. There's a conflict. What do we do about this? Trying to figure that out. And then having the Hermit feels like sort of reviewing and seeing that all of this stuff is happening and trying to find answers and trying to make sense of what's going on. They're trying to like bring things to light so that we can understand. But I'm definitely getting, with Three of Cups being connected to Ten of Swords, this feels like we're meant to be getting along with each other, and we're meant to see eye to eye, and we're meant to be feeling seen and feeling heard and like holding space for one another and feel like we're on the same page, but that's not happening. And so this feels like a painful situation that has unfolded now and can feel a bit crushed under the weight of this. And it can be like things that were said or things that were not said. And having to like sort of come to terms with all of this that's happening and what's going on. And I'm experiencing, like, this is difficult for me to experience, and I'm trying to process right now and figure this out. And also too, what is my role within this? I do feel very much like you and this person are on two very, very different pages. And this can be like in the way that's connected with your most private thoughts and feelings being on two different pages. And also too, then trying to tune in and trying to connect and make sense of things and find answers. Like, what's going on that hasn't been revealed yet? What hasn't been spoken yet? What needs to be sort of inferred by what's taking place here? So having High Priestess be connected with the Hermit, this is going to be really having to tune in on the deepest level to find answers and figure this out. I do also feel like something came up and something was said, or there's like an issue with the, like, we're not thinking the same thing. And again, coming back to that, we're not on the same page. And then having a fight about that. It feels like turmoil and then something being done. So this can be like, we got into an argument and then we both walked away from it. That's what that Ten of Swords is feeling like. This feels like stuff hasn't been resolved, and it feels too like Five of Wands being there. It feels like there wasn't necessarily it doesn't feel like there's a conflict resolution here. It just feels like conflict, and then it feels like almost leaving things there and not going past that point or not going beyond that point. And this can be sort of you in the aftermath of this, like looking for answers and trying to make sense of things and like really understand. Tune into what you're feeling, how you're thinking. And the part of you that's involved in a very in-depth type of way, looking to that part of yourself, saying, hey, what's going on here? Part of the reason why this can feel difficult is because you can see this as somebody that's meant to understand you, and you guys are supposed to be on the same page with one another. Like, that's the nature of your relationship with this person. And so not being in that place with them can feel very devastating, or it can feel very upsetting. So, like, all of that being said, what then? Because this feels like we've reviewed what's been taking place. So what else? I wonder too, for some of you, if you have in your synastry with this person, that your moons are squaring one another. That can be a rough placement to have in synastry, because you can feel in a way like sometimes your core personality, or like the natural way of you feeling, can be in conflict with this other person. Or like even core values. Okay. So I pulled one card. I'm gonna pull 3 more cards, and this is looking to me, just the nature of it is feeling almost like the state where you are now and advice that can go along with it. We started off with the 4 of Cups here. So 4 of Cups is, right now, based off of this, it's normal for you to be feeling how you're feeling. There's going to be time. It's suggested to take time and to take space right now to recover emotionally, because you can be feeling like not in a great place. And so spending time recovering from this can feel important. I'm seeing Virgo here. Just wanted to bring that up. And I'm also seeing the moon here as well. Four of Cups and Knight of Wands, one of the interpretations of this that's coming through feels like not being in a great place and possibly doing something impulsive. That can be something you want to be mindful of, like what's motivating you to take action. And you know, sometimes when we're not feeling great about something, or like feeling down about something, being like, I just want to feel better, but then doing something and it can like sometimes make matters worse. Just be mindful of that, of how exactly you're responding to this. Because 4 of Cups feels like you need some TLC right now, and jumping immediately into that energy of the Knight of Wands may actually create more trouble than good. Like, it may actually be more problematic. Yeah, so like also too, don't rush yourself through this, because this feels like that part of yourself that may want to sort of like run around, that part of you that can feel a little bit restless, it's sandwiched between 4 of Cups and 4 of Swords. And this is like really needing to relax. You really need to take care of yourself. You really need to tune in, like give yourself a break. This is not the time to be exerting, even though there can be a part of you that feels restless, because maybe that's just the way where you are right now in your life. That can be a way that you sort of deal with things, by being like, I'm just gonna like turn off my whatever tells me not to do stuff sometimes, and I'm just gonna like go on automatic and just do a bunch of stuff and like hope that I feel better, which isn't really gonna do anything. It may very temporarily, but not in the long term. So this feels like needing to ground and center this part of yourself so you can really tune in and listen to what's going on. I think also to address this, but needing to consolidate the energy and allow yourself to breathe and be still is going to be the first part of this. And there can be a part of you that's like, this is uncomfortable, I don't want to sit within this, I want to do something. But then the other part of you that's sort of in charge is saying like, hey, I need you to just sit down with me right now and let's just not make a move. Let's just be still. And this can be some soothing that's being done. This can be self-soothing that's done. Like the part of you that's like, I don't want to sit still. Like I don't want to like process this stuff right now. This is too much for me. Like I want to run around and forget about this. I want to like run away from it. There's going to be that part of yourself that comes up, and then there's going to be another part of yourself that's more centered, that's sort of observing this happening, that's going to sort of need to guide that part of you to be still, but in like a way where it feels soothing and it feels safe, rather than there being like an ignoring. It feels like there needs to be an acknowledging of those feelings and impulses that are coming up to want to sort of channel this in a way where there's going to be an exertion or a burst of energy, and it feels like you can channel that into something that you have to think about first and make sure that it's going to be something productive for you if that's what you want to do. And also too, maybe there's some other stuff that you can do instead. Like the way that I'm seeing Four of Swords, this can be like doing something where maybe you go in water and that sort of helps cleanse. Like maybe take a walk in like the around the block, or you take a walk in nature, or you go touch some grass or a tree or something like that. Stuff where it's like it's gonna pull you away from being in the middle of this, but still you can like process as that's happening, being kind of away from the stressor and balancing the energy within yourself. And like the different stuff that comes up, it's going here, then the energy is going there, then it's over there, just sort of like riding the wave of what's going on and needing to adapt to your needs. So this even feels like a pulling back into a space of, I just need to focus on myself right now, and getting in touch in that way. What you're feeling, it's normal. The things that you are feeling, just normalize the experience that you're having. I do think that it's not the time to be making moves and doing anything yet, only because seeing that King of Swords and Nine of Cups reversed feels like if you're not truly right now in touch with what you want on a deeper level and you do something, it's not going to be aligned with that. When you know what you want and then you take action in alignment with that, it's going to feel aligned. Like there's not going to be that, now I need to correct. So it feels like, okay, the best way that I can explain this energy is that if you don't know where you're going and you're like, let me get in the car and start driving, there's a destination. There is a destination, it just hasn't been disclosed yet. So Nine of Cups you can see as being this undisclosed location. There is a location, it's just undisclosed. You need to wait and not get in the car and go somewhere until you know the location. Because chances are that if before the location is disclosed, you get in the car and start driving, you may drive in the opposite direction, and then you're going to have to come back, and then and if you don't want to do that, don't make the move then. Because it's in stillness, that location is going to come to you, and then that clarity will be there. But also too, part of what can be challenging about this is sort of the stuff that comes up and reveals itself as being a deeper truth to you, and then doing what you wish with that. But it does allow this part of the cycle to then close out, so this isn't something that you're processing anymore because you move through it then, okay? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.